this computer. Okay, alright. Puan, boleh nampak screen sharing I ke tak?
Boleh, boleh.
Okay, I sekarang ni go to slideshow, nampak kan? Slideshow William.
Saya
Boleh
pun
nampak kan? Can you see my screen sharing? Participants,
Yup.
can you see the screen?
Boleh, boleh.
Okay, alright. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Puan Ana, for arranging. Thank you also to Puan Norisa for arranging these particular sessions. Good morning to all again. Nama I William. Thank you for joining this session, which is exploring Amoro part 2. Actually, part 2 tu is a reminder for myself. I terlupa nak keluarkan in the poster. So for today, we'll be exploring on the concept and the understanding about open access in terms of publication here, and what Amoro ada and Amoro can offer. What is Amoro Open Research and what is open access? So for today, which is 10th of November, sesi ini hanya untuk sejam je, from the 10:30 to 11:30. Reason why William menggunakan Zoom is because I will also appreciate if you if the participants, the academic or the students, if you have any questions or if you have any sharing at all, something that we can learn together, I really, really appreciate that. Please, you can either put in the chat or you can also voice up to share your thoughts and also your comments dan sebagainya. Without further ado, I'll go into here some overview and disclaimer. So the overview basically is to on my side too, is actually more on sharing of the understanding what is open access, what is open research, and because this topic is generally quite new, it's just recent 2-3 years, baru still very new, still baru je, and open access and also open research has slightly different meaning in different part of the world. So what it means in European country, what it means in our region, in Malaysia, in Indonesia dan sebagainya. So because of too wide understanding, so my PowerPoint today is focusing on the Amoro perspective and also some knowledge sharings, what I actually found from the Amoro website and also from the other resources. So all in all, kita tak lari lah. We'll be talking about what is open access, what is Amoro Open Research, where to find if you have interest, if you wanted to publish in open access journal, if you want your article to be in open access article and you tak nak bayar ABC, if you do not want to pay the ABC, how can you find, how can you publish in Amoro open access journal, Platinum, and we also have a few, I also made up a few discussion points where we talk about the effect, how does open access affecting you in terms of contohnya download, citation, scholarly research output, the standard, the quality of that, is there any risk regarding about predatory, and so. So this is more on the discussion point at the end of it. So without further ado, let's just jump straight to that. A big shout out again, thank you so much. Setekali nampak ni ya. A big shout out to University Selangor Library, Puan Nur Adna for having for being the host. Thank you to Puan Norisa. These two great lady memang menolong lah William and also Amoro in terms of hosting and arranging and promoting the training sessions and also the sharing sessions. Please, any questions? Do write your questions on the chat dalam Zoom chat ni. Tulis ya, if you want to put in your comment, silakan. You want to put in your question, juga ya, I memang mengalu-alukan lah your questions, your comment, and even your thoughts as well. I'm really appreciate juga kalau if you have any other interest of topics that you would like to hear about, anything lah, yeah, on you want to hear about, example, predatory journal, how do you avoid that, sebagai contoh je, yeah. So if you have any interest of sharing or topics that you like to know, please let us know via the chat, or you can also tell to the library, yeah, to our librarian, our friend librarians. Right. Part number one, just jump straight into that. Apa dia open access? What is open access? So Google, there are so many meanings out there, right? So I menggunakan dua lah references tu, or I tak letak kat sini ya. I will be putting up some, in most of my PowerPoint tu ada link here. I also have put up some the resources, the references di mana I cite lah, di mana I refers to, yeah. So over here, if you using the Wikipedia, or if you just Google that, what is open access, it tells you a lot of meaning and their definition of it. Tetapi tak jauh beza lah of that. So in the Wikipedia, Google tells me open access is a set of principles and a range of practices. These are very important keyword here. Principles and practices through with research output, normally referring to journal article or book here, distributed secara online, free of cost. Free of cost tu normally we're referring to the subscriptions, free of cost, and also other access barrier. Kalau librarian tu normally we associates to embargo lah. So to other access barrier or other embargoes here. With open access strictly defined, or libre open access here, barriers to copyrights, reuse are also reduced and remove applying open license for copyrights. So there are also a few open access license copyright itu. Contohnya BYCC. So Emerald adopt BYCCs. I will tell more about it later. So this is just to give everyone some understanding, yeah, of what is open access. So if I may, like to get you all dah start tu, dah mula minta semua tu go into chat dah. I would like everyone that joining us this morning here, write in the chat. What do you know about open access? What are the characteristics of open access? If you can put in the chat, just share your thoughts. What is open access? What is the characteristics? What is the features ke ataupun the rupa bentuk of the open access? If you can put in the chat. Oh, tiba-tiba ada 35 orang. Oh, alright. Good morning for all that just joined in. Okay. Ada. Ataupun everyone is very new with open access. Is the chat working? Chat ni working ke? Oh, okay. Oh, dah. Okay, alright. Okay, we have one from Abdullah, because it's a personal message here. So Abdullah was saying that is paid publication but free for viewer, yeah. Then Surya tu kata download article without password. We can download the journal without restrictions. Yes. Open access means we can access freely. Yes. Everybody can access for free. Yes, or without fee. Alright. Yeah. So all in all, semua tu dia associated kepada fee. They is basically free to access. So they a lot of characteristics of an open access. Contohnya that you have mentioned, you can download freely, you can access freely, tak perlu nak bayar, you do not need to pay anything. There's no limitations. You can print, you can you can share, you can cite, you can refer, dan sebagainya. Alright, you can even put into your own repository. in some instances dan sebagainya. So all this is some characteristic. But all in all, what normally when we get to know the term open access to adalah is basically free to read and to download here. You can read, you can download, some other is a HTML or the PDF. So normally this is what we meant by the open access. Now, just to give some historical record of open access here, how does open access come into the picture? Now, who come up with this brilliant idea? Kenapa adanya open access? Who come up with this brilliant idea and how come into that? So I also do not have answer who come up with that. But now this particular history comes with a good questions. In fact, a great questions. So if you are academics, if you are students, once you have completed your research, you will then, start to write manuscript about it. You can do this, you can prepare your manuscript, prepare your paper, then publish into the journals. Perhaps you have funding for it, funding for research. So you use your research funding to, perform your research data, methodology, findings, results, dan sebagainya. So once you have published your article, then the people starts to ask the questions. Now, why do you, or why do we need to pay for our own content? So your paper, your own funding, you publish in Emerald. Tapi University Selangor Library tu kena buat subscription dengan Emerald. Why is that? So this is what we call the movement. Yeah. So in countries, example in the European country, in the US country dan sebagainya. So they talk about free education. They talk about education for all. Yeah, free education for all dan sebagainya. Right. So another part which is regarding about the research output. So you have performed your own research, have performed your own output, but now why do you need to pay for it? So that's actually where the open access concept comes into the discussion, comes into a form of movement where it forces some government of the country, contohnya Finland, contohnya which I know Netherlands, right? The government of Netherlands, the government of Finland, they negotiated with the publisher, Elsevier's publisher like Emerald, publishers, out there, Taylor and Francis, Sage dan sebagainya, to talk about, how to make the articles, how to make the journals, how to make the books to be in the open access. So that was some history and what is actually happening right here. Now, coming back from the European countries to our region kat Malaysia ni, what do you think? Do you think that open access is working in the Malaysia country ataupun in the Southeast Asia country? What do you think? I will move forward, tapi if you have any thought about it, you can also put into the chat. But I just want you to give a think about it. If open access happens here in the Malaysia or in the Southeast Asia, what would they means, to you? What it means to your publications? What it means to your scholarly, research, citations, downloads, and also other meanings as well. So these some foods for you to think about it. So just to let you know what it means by that. So there is actually the open access. And now, how many types are there of open access? What is open access? Dan sekarang ini, what are the type of open access? Open access are basically being named using the color. It's a color naming system. There is a green, there is gold, there is bronze, there is platinum. There even another one which is called hybrid. Hybrid too, not color lah. Right. So there are a few type of open access. Probably you are familiar if, so if you're familiar, that is okay. But if you're not, so something that we just refresh our mind and learn together. Green, I think, which is the very first introduction of open access. Yeah. So under the Green OA, the Green OA basically offers the authors to publish their paper um, in their own repository. So sorry, yang ini, okay, let me just read this, then I will actually explain. So our Green Open Access route offers all the Emerald Journal author and also the book chapter authors here the options to make their research immediately and openly available upon the publication. And you do not need to make any payment, which is free from payment. So Emerald also one of the few publishers that does not impose any restrictions or limitations. Normally we call it embargo, right? Embargoes, limitations or restrictions to them. For more about our Emerald open access policy, not just about green. So this green link, but if you click on that, you can see they are our Emerald open research policy. So you can refer to that. Thank you to Puan Noliza. Puan Noliza have shared the slides into the chat. You can download from the chat. Yeah. So if you click on this link, that will bring you to the open research, open access, sorry, open access our policies over here. Now, if you do not understand what it means by this green, green simply means that once you have submit your manuscript into example Emerald, let's say lah contoh dia. So once you have submitted your manuscript to Emerald manuscript, so you undergo the peer review process, sama je, you undergo a peer review process, you do not need to pay any money. Then eventually, if it's accepted, your article will then publish in Emerald Journal. Your article that published in Emerald Journal, if that journal is a paywall journal, subscription journal, maka your article is still under the subscriptions access. However, you should have your so-called author version, yeah. So the last version before the publications, normally it's called the final version, the final version without the Emerald logo. So that particular author versions, you can actually upload to your own repository, to your own website. Contohnya william.com, contoh lah ya. To your own repository, to your own website, only for personal use and for your university usage. So that is what you mean by the green open access. Okay, moving forward, if you have any questions, kalau confused, just let me know. Kalau tak, I'll just move forward. Another one which is most of us are very, very familiar. So if you're familiar with open access, normally we're familiar with APC. Yeah, what is APC? APC itu maksudnya Article Processing Charge. APC kena bayar lah. You need to bayar APC to publish in open access, right? So this is the most common type, or the most for me, right? For me, this is the most introduced or the most adoptions type of open access, which is the Go open access. So Go open access in Emerald, there are also two type of it. So number one, which is you can publish Go open access in subscription journal. Normally we call it hybrid journal right now. We have now called it hybrid journal. Or you can also publish Go open access in the fully opened access journal. Okay, so these are the two types and the two difference. Now let's start with this. So Go open access, basically you will need to pay the APC. Kena bayar lah. You will need to pay the APC to publish that. So example, you have identified the journal that you would like to publish. Let's say this journal is called the Asia Pacific Journal of Business Administration, APJBA. So APJBA is a hybrid journal. APJBA is a subscription journal. Yeah, it's a hybrid journal, it's a subscription journal. So let's say you have submitted to APJPA, and then you would like your article sahaja, you like your article to be in the open access method, nature, which is called open access article here. You like your article to be in open access, maka you will need to pay this article processing charge. So once you have paid the APC, your article will then be open access article in the subscription journal. So that journal is still a subscription journal. Let's say that journal issue here, issue number 23, contoh je. So issue number 20, we have 10 article. So out of the 10 article, 9, which is a subscription article, 1, which is the open access article, because this is paid by the author. You as the author, you have paid for the APC, article processing charge. So this is mean by the published in the hybrid journal. Okay, so how much is the APC? It differs. Emerald has only one rate, satu harga je, only one rate for in Emerald journal. Doesn't matter if it's a Q1 journal or Q4 journal or no ranking journal, example here. So it's still one APC charges. So if you need to find out more about APC in the journal information, go to the journal homepage. Example, if you're looking for Taylor and Francis, ataupun Wiley, or Elsevier's journal, right? So go to the journal. Normally, it will mentions what is the APC. If it doesn't mention, you can go to the publisher website, look for the open access or the APC charges. It will then tells you the APC charges. Some publisher have some publishers have different APC charges. Depends on the length of the article. So some articles are short, then the APC is cheaper. Some articles are longer, then the APC is more expensive. Again, let me come back to here. In Emerald, no, Emerald only adopts one APC charge, which is this one. Article processing charges by Emerald, we only have a single rate, which is by pound here, pound 2,495, US dollar 3,270, euro 2,880 here for publishings in Emerald. Only one charges. So kalau kita tukar here, let's say from 2,495 pound, so that would be somewhere around about 14,000 lah, 14,500 lah, lebih kurang ya, 14,000 ringgit Malaysia. So that would be to publish an APC in Emerald. Right? So this is the goal for hybrid journal. Now, how about fully open journal? So this you will need to check very, very detailed. In Emerald per se, most of Emerald, in fact, I think all year, kata silap, all, let me say most lah, majority of open access journal in Emerald is actually platinum, right? So I'll explain the platinum later. Tapi anak kata tu ialah, so if you want to publish in open access journal, you will also need to check, do you need to pay for the APC? So most of the platinum open access journal, you do not need to pay APC because it is a sponsored journal. So if it's a sponsored journal, then you tak perlu nak bayar lah. You have been excluded. You can publish in open access journal. Your article will be in open access article, and you do not need to pay money. Best for all. Yeah. So you will need to check back your check the journal informations. Have a read if you need to pay APC or not. So in Emerald, then I will just jump into the Platinum. Okay, so this is a link for publish in open access journal. There are many informations over here that you can refer to. So another one, which is called the Platinum. Platinum open access. Now, what is Platinum? Platinum mainly refers to sponsored journal. So it's a sponsored journal. It's a sponsored open access journal. Normally, not normally, it's a sponsored by and partnership with organizations such as university or associations and even government as well. So there will be no article processing charges if you publish in this particular journal. All right. So this is what I call the Platinum Open Access. So I think most of you can find the list here. Platinum Open Access Journal listing is right here in this link here. Click on this link, you will see the list under Emerald, which are the Platinum Open Access Journal. So this is the two Platinum Open Access Journal that coming from Malaysia. So ISRA, International Journal of Islamic Finance, from ECIF, dari ECIF here, from the Institute of Center of from ECIF Malaysia here. So this journal is a Platinum Open Access Journal. Ecofeminisms and climate change, which is associated with government agencies in Malaysia that focusing about ecofeminisms and also climate change lah. Very specifically talking about the particular climate change and also the power of women. Right. So these are two examples of the Platinum Open Access. So this journal currently is open access journal, is embarked under the Emerald platform. So if you were to submit your paper into this journal, your paper, if it's accepted, your paper will become open access article and you do not need to pay single cent to publish in this journal. So this is what I said, the best among all here. I'm an open access article, an article as open access, and I do not want to pay money. Where to find? So this is a list to find that. Okay, so basically these are the type of the open access. So I think basically that would covers what is open access. So far, any questions? I'm not covering the S plan and the other plan here and like read and publish, deal dan sebagainya. I'm not covering that part. That would be more difficult to understand. No questions, yeah? Okay, all right, no questions, then I'll move on. Oh, 11 dah. Oh, okay, I'll move on, yeah? Any question, feel free. Kalau confused, if you want me to repeat again, just let me know. If not, then I'll just move on. Part 2. Now, what is Emerald Open Research? What is open research? What is open access? Yang tadi tu, semua tu open access. Now, what is open research? Open research or Emerald Open Research? Open research is not. Open research is actually developed by different publishers. So you may find, Taylor and Francis, they have their open research. Emerald have their open research. I tahu ini dua je lah. Taylor and Francis have open research. So normally you may also hear about this called F1000 platform, F1000 open research dan sebagainya. So these are the particular open research. So Emerald also joined in the open research nature or the platform itself, and we created our own called the Emerald Open Research, which is a new and pioneer way to very fast publish your paper, either from research output or review paper, or even some of the notes dan sebagainya. So it's going to be an open peer review that controlled by the author, and also there are many policies that associate to be that. All the open research article and also the peer review will be freely read, download, reuse, and cited by all. Even the review by the peer review can be cited as well. So currently, in Emerald actually offers 6 gateway, which is over right here, and these 6 gateways and also other collections like COVID-19 is under one collection. But in terms of gateway, we do not have many. The reason why is not because we do not want, it's just that we wanted very focused to align the open research with UN SDG. So the 6 gateways are focusing on the fairer society, healthier lives, quality education for all, responsible management, sustainable cities, and sustainable food systems. All right, so these are the gateway that we are focusing. There are some that have a few SDG, example, SDG 8, SDG 13, which is under the responsible management, dan sebagainya. All right, so we do not want to, go too many. We wanted to really focus on the SDG impact. So this is about the Emerald Open Research. So now let me just jump into the website. So this is the Emerald Open Research link. When you click into here, then you will be brought to this particular website, which is the Emerald Open Research. Allow me to zoom in so you can have a better view. So yeah, I think this should be good enough, right? So Emerald Open Research, you can, if you are new to here, if you want, you can always browse, just like Emerald database. If you do not know how to search for it, you can browse for our contents over right here. Then over here, you can also look for the gateway. So this is browsing by article here. Gateways and the collections, submitting your research here. So these are the 6 gateways that I mentioned earlier, fair societies until the sustainable food systems, and some of the collections. These are the case collections, teaching case collections, business school impact, coronavirus, yang ni ada pasti, sustainability, leadership in education, and agriculture, food, dan sebagainya. Alright, so this is the gateway and the collections. So some of the key difference about the open access is that in the open access here, let me just quickly go into, let's say, responsible management. Sebagai contoh, you can submit to this particular gateway. So once you submit into here, you can see that this is actually one article. So over the responsible management, there are 70 articles only. I think COVID-19 will be more. So the 70 articles over here regarding about the responsible management. So this is actually one published in 10th September. So this is another one published in 3rd of September. And you can see the status of awaiting peer review. So this is still assigning or maybe still waiting for the author or waiting for the peer review to accept dan sebagainya. So this, the review has been done or has been approved, and this is probably still halfway, still waiting for some of the reviewer, still waiting for peer review have done this, waiting for the second review dan sebagainya. So let me just bring some example. Let's say this lah. So if I were to come into here, you can see that building your influence, the role of smart sustainability leader. This is a version number 1, peer review to have approved by 2 authors. So if you click into here, click onto here. So as I said, this is an open access. You can come into here, then it tells you that it's actually associated to responsible management gateway and also associated to quality education for all gateway, and also in EAUC collection as well. So you can download the PDF, you can also get the XML over here, you can do the citation, and you can share, you can email, you can do anything all about here. Over here, it can also tell you how many views, how many people have actually read, how many people have actually downloaded that, and the open peer review here. So I'll be actually talking about this because this is a very big difference, right? So before I go into here, just want to show it to you. So this is abstract, the keyword, this sama je with the current journal. So you still have the abstract, you still have the keyword, and also the content. So this is the particular paper content. So, okay, right. And over here, so this is the difference part here. So if I can enlarge that, you come into here. So this article is using the open peer review. If you have joined the previous webinar of training before this, right? Or if you have not joined, which is okay, probably you'll come across to different type of peer review. Ya, contohnya kita ada single blind peer review. Kita ada double blind peer review, triple blind peer review, and this is the new one, which is called the open peer review. So open peer review basically the author will actually invite. So the invited reviewer is actually not by the publisher. The authors will actually, the author, you yourself, you can actually invite the reviewer, or you can also get publishers to invite. It's up to you. So you can invite the reviewer. So they are 1 and 2 reviewers. If I'm mistaken, minimum 2 here. But in some articles that I've read before, normally it's between 3 to 5. So this is only 2 lah. I think 2 is a minimum. So this is the first version, and the first version has been read and approved by 2 reviewers. So if some did not approve or some actually request for amendment, then it will become the second version, the version number 2. So I think you know this chronology lah. So at this moment in time, you can see that this version number 1 has been approved by first and also by the second. So if you want to read about their comment and their reviews, so you can actually click on here, you can read that. So who are they? James, which is number 1, number 2, which is I'm sorry, I'm sorry. The reviewer number 1 and reviewer number 2, which is over right here. Okay, so this is the reviewer. If you want to read about it, you can click on that. You can see that this is the reviewer report by James, and this report, based on the reviewer has given an approval to this particular version, this particular manuscript, and this is the particular review comments. So the comments are which is over right here, and some of the metrics as well. So this actually be included lah. So to help the reviewer to answer. So example is this article clearly and accurately present the current literature. So the reviewer say, yes. Is this study, the design is actually appropriate? The methodology, right, is actually appropriate and is being technically sound? So the reviewer say, yes. So you can actually, read all this review. So one interesting thing, one that actually very different from the double blind review, the single blind review, is that the review report is going to be open. Semua orang boleh baca. Everybody doesn't know you are from Malaysia or from your UK or from where lah. Everybody can actually read the reviewer report, and the reviewer reports can also be cited juga. So not only you can cite the article, but you can also cite the reviewer report of this particular article juga. So this is the open research platform, right? So all in all, this open research platform is very, very new. It's not just in Emerald, but across the publishing industry. It has its the advantages. It also have the risk to publish in the open research. Many people, when they come into here, they have fear to publish in open research. Some of the fears that may include, right? Who are the reviewers? How do they comment into the review. If it's approved, okay lah, no problem. But if the reviewer give some aggressive comment or some too direct comments into that, and everybody is actually reading that, so that would become very risky for both the author and also the reviewer as well. And on this is how it looks like. So this is the Emerald Open Research. So how to publish? You can find all the guidelines, the submissions, and over here, do you need to pay money? Yes. So you will also need to pay the money over here. So you can go to the article processing charges to find what is that. So over here for the Emerald Open Research, the article processing charges have 3 different categories. If I'm not mistaken, based on the actually based on the number of words, if I'm not mistaken, but probably it's best for you to have a read more about it. So there are different category and also what it means by the particular category itself. All right. So there are there is APC that will charge to publish in the Emerald Open Research. I'm not here to ask you to publish in Emerald Open Research. I'm here to actually create awareness to the audience today, to say that, to share with you that what are the forms and what has the industry evolving from the subscription journal to the open access, and now with the introduction of open research. So you can see the chronology, what is happening right now, what is going to happen in the future, what is open peer review, what it means to you and the peer reviewer, dan sebagainya. So that is my intention. My intention is to share with you the chronology, bukan chronology, the evolution, yes, the evolutions from then to current one. All right. So that's open research. Open research normally is targeting the policy papers. So reason why is because most of the articles and also the research are also targeting readerships from the governments and also the policy makers. So that's actually why they have the certain funding to actually publish this, so that it can be reach out to the policymakers of the day, to the government of the day, so that they probably would revise or to adopt the particular research or the particular output of your research itself. Okay, so that is the Emerald Open Research. You can actually look more into that. So, and now I will just go into the third part over here. So the part 3, which is how to find and also to publish in open access journal. In this particular topic, I will go back to the Emerald. Yeah, in the Emerald, how do you find specifically platinum? How do you find platinum open access journal? Or normally we do not use platinum. In layman term, normally we just call it sponsored. Yeah, how do you find sponsored open access journal? So this is that Platinum Open Access Journal or the sponsored open access journal. The link is over right here. Click on this link, you will go into this particular website. So to give you an idea, I think this is here, Platinum Open Access Journal. So it's basically sponsored. So if you're wondering why you do not need to pay APC, kenapa you tak perlu nak bayar? Why you do not need to pay APC? It's actually because this journal, this open access journal, is being paid by the university, it's being paid by the association, it's being paid by the government. Example, Vietnam government actually sponsored two or three open access journal. So the government actually fund the journal, their existing journal, and to be in open access, so that the universities in Vietnam, they can make use of this particular open access journal. So if you found the Platinum Open Access Journal, so you do not need to, you can read, you can download, you can publish for free. You do not need to pay any APC. So I do had a conversation with some academic in University Selangor before, saying that they would like to publish their journal. Yeah, the university journal, contohnya university journal, you want to publish university journal in Emerald. The question is, how do you do that? So this is the way. So if you are editor-in-chief, you are editorial of your own journal, if you want to embark with Emerald database because of download and citations and also quality, right? So Platinum Open Access is a method, yeah, it's one of the method. So the university or the faculty would need to sponsor, to sponsor the journal in Emerald. So when it's sponsored, then everyone can read, everyone can download, and everyone can submit and publish into this journal, and they do not need to pay. So over here, you can see the view of this particular journal. There are a lot. If I'm not mistaken, we have over 60, more than 60 lah, 63 or 62. Tak lupa lah. So there are 60 over so-called platinum journals under the Emerald, and all these journal is free to read, free to download, and also you can publish. Oh, new one coming soon. You can publish with them for free. Now, how do you publish? Let's say I'll take ISRA as the example. So if I come into here, so it will bring you to the landing page. The first thing that you'll notice is that the cover page and also the logo. You will find that this is the open access logo for this journal. And you can see that this journal, right? Normally the journal cover page is also different. Emerald journal is very emerald look lah. So this is actually the ISRA journal cover page. So ISRA International Journal of Islamic Finance, how to submit a paper here, and it will tell you it's a peer review. It's actually in COPE, in DOAJ, and also in Scopus. So it also says that it published in associations with the International Sharia Research Academy for Islamic Finance, which is the ISRA. So it's actually sponsored by the ISRA itself. So it's actually under the open access, and Emerald adopt the CCBY 4.0 license. So this is actually one of the licensing of the open access, and we are strictly following this CCBY 4.0 licensing. So if you can see now, the articles are still owned by the ISRA. It's just that it published by Emerald Publishing on behalf of the ISRA itself. So it's still, the ownership is still goes back to the university. Sorry, goes back to the university or the sponsor itself. Okay, so this is that. You can see it's very similar with the rest. Basically, it's the same. You can find the editorial board member, the author guidelines, the indexing and ranking, the transparency, who is the ownership. If you're asking if you have put your journal in Emerald, who will own the journal? So the ownership is still back to the sponsor. It's just that you are riding, you are partnering with Emerald so that, you know, to increase the journal standard, the quality, the submissions from around the world, the readerships, the downloads, the citations, dan sebagainya. All right. So this is some of it. You can actually have a look into that. So now this is how you can look for this particular journal. So if your intention is to look for, if your intention is to publish in open access and you do not want to pay money, how do you do that? So you can basically just, you know, just have a look into the list, what we have. So this is a list. So this is a list, what you have into the list itself. Then you can have a look into that. So if you do not find any from Emerald, well, you can still find the rest from the other publisher juga. So you can also find from the other publisher, but always check some open access, because there are so many type of open access. Even the university journal is also considered the open access. So example, there are so many journals from university, right? So example, your faculty or your or for let's say Universiti Selangor ada journal tersendiri kan. So Universiti Selangor ada journal tersendiri. So and this journal you do not need to subscribe. So which is one way you can call it is open access journal. We used to call it institutional journal. We used to call it university journal lah, university journal ataupun institutional journal. Right now because of the new name, then we normally call it, open access journal. We call it Universiti Selangor journal, or we call it this journal, which is open access by Universiti Selangor dan sebagainya. So now, what are the difference? The difference are mainly on the particular the policies that actually adopt, and also mainly will be actually more on the policy and also some of the risk, policy and the risk, and also the particular management of it. So what is a policy? So the policy will associated, example, with the BYCC licensing, the licensing structure, the journal index in DOAJ, the Directory of Open Access Journal, how to go into the scopus and things like that. So, and people fear because of open access is because you need to pay APC. When it comes to open access, I think most of you will have this experience, or you probably will have this experience. The manner if you want to publish into a journal, the most asked question you are, how much do you need to publish? What is the publication fee, right? So if you have joined Emerald before, then you know that publish in Emerald tak perlu nak bayar. You do not need to pay to publish in Emerald subscription journal. In Emerald Open Access Journal, you also do not need to pay because it's a sponsored journal. In some journal or in some publisher, open access journal, you will need to check. So my point is actually here. You need to check whether do you need to pay APC or not. Because some journal, example, university journal is open access, but it is actually not funded. The author will still need to pay APC to publish into the open access journal. So that is meant by that. Yeah, it's actually not a subscription journal. It's open access journal, but you still need to pay APC. Reason why is because that journal is not funded. That journal is not sponsored. So in order for the journal to operate and to run, macam mana pun we will still need, some funding to run the particular journal. Example, website pun kena bayar kan, website lah, domain lah, all these things pun kena bayar. So siapa nak bayar? So the authors will need to pay the APC. It will be the same in also other publisher. That's actually why I would like to get you to always check. Yeah, not all is like Emerald. Emerald is, you do not need to pay APC for open access. So in other publisher, kena bayar. So which one kena bayar? You have to check for it. All right. So I think all in all, this is that for today to cover all this particular part. If you have any questions at all, feel free to actually put in the chat, or you can ask me that. So before we move on, I just wanted to also cover quickly a few things. I also wanted to answer this question from Noor Hayati. You actually asked me, is there any open access journal in computing field? I do not know, honestly. I would like you to, if I may, right, let me just quickly copy this and put into the chat. Perhaps you can explore by this particular view. Applied computing and informatics, consider ke tak? I tak pasti ya. I'll send the link. I have already put in the chat. Probably you could have a look into the listing and see which one would, relates to your topic or your area of interest here. So I have put it in the chat. You can have a look into that. So before I move on further, I just want to go into some additional sharing. Now, I want to be honest here. My PowerPoint slide 2 was actually prepared in this particular week. And I was trying to get more resources and also latest understandings about open access and what we can do. So one of the things that I actually found and very, very interesting. I hope this interests you. Kalau tak, it's okay. We just want to learn here. We just want to learn together. Well, interesting is that this particular YouTube, yes, it's from Emerald, but it's about the content itself. So you can go to YouTube. You can get the link over in the slides. I think Juan Noriza have again uploaded the PowerPoint, the PDF files here. You can go into these sites, and this video is available in YouTube. The title is called Open Access Week 2021, which was published. The video was published in 29 October, which is quite recent lah. So it's about 1 hour long. It's about 1 hour long. Tapi okay, if you cut the depan and belakang and things like that, if you hear, this is Shelly Allen, our open access person in charge. So for any of open access, you can contact her. And these are, I think, some of the librarians that actually share her point of view. One that actually really, all of them interest me. I just want to say this first. All of them, 4 of them actually interest me. I learned something from them. I learned the data from her. I learned her view from the Australia perspective. I learned the view from the UK and also the predatory journal perspective. And I learned how to, look for open access journal and the risk in India particular side. So there are 2 things in this video. If you want to look for this video, you can rewatch that later. But if you have no time to rewatch, so this is a 2 highlight that I want to mention. These 2 journals, European Journal of Molecular and Clinical Medicines, the link is over here, and also the Journal of Critical Reviews, dari Malaysia. So this is a Malaysian, so these 2 journal is open access journal. You do not need to subscribe. You can actually download the article. You can actually download the PDF. You can read the article. You will need to submit and you need to pay APC for your submission. And these 2 journals are also indexed and ranked in Scopus, right? So it's an open access journal. It's indexed in Scopus. You do not need to subscribe. You can download. You just need to pay for the APC. Looks good. Everything is nice. However, when you were to go through the video, right, you can see that. So from here, I think I have made that over. Yes, over right here. So example, this is the journal itself, European Journal of Molecular and Clinical Medicines. So over here, it has its own website, the journal. So latest article, most view, most download, then not very professional look lah. I'm not saying this is a predatory journal, but it has predatory journal elements over here, or at least it's called misuse. It's actually misabuse the concept of open access, right? So this journal is about this journal, the aim and scopes, journal info, aim and scopes. You can find all these things over right here. So over here, if you see that it's called Journal of Molecular and Clinical Medicines, so you should expect, right? The particular aim and scopes is talking about molecular perspective and also molecular in the clinical medicine perspective, right? So it's talking about this particular perspective itself. Di mana dia pernah, I have read that, is talking about the biomedical and all those, yeah? So you can see that. So, but if you were to go into editorial board, you may find that not all have picture, some may have picture, some over have picture, and this picture we also do not know whether is it the same person ke tak lah, right? You can see that dia macam Photoshop je. I mean, I'm not speculating, but it does look like it is being Photoshop. Let me just zoom in. If I have a look, you can see that it's right. The body and the head macam lain je. That's me lah. That's me. I could be wrong, but it gave me the impressions it looks very much like photoshopped, and you can see that the email, most of the email are Gmail, or mail.ru. I do not know, if you were to see Emerald Journal, you will be able to find the people and also their email address and who they are. So this already give me, in fact, some takut dah. So is this, who are they, who are the editorial board member and things like that. Then you know how to actually publish. There is a APC here. I think contact us. Yes. The speaker also mentioned that you are not able to contact them, the chief editor, Gmail. So, and you are not able to really, contact them and things like that. And very good, this is also in the indexing. So if you go in the index, it's actually in Scopus. Yeah, take out already. You can actually go back into the Scopus website and you can find the particular Scopus. All right. So this is that. Now the thing is that if you were to browse the issues, what the speaker has pointed out is that, this was about the data. So what the speaker has pointed out is that, so if you go into this is called European Journal of Molecular and Clinical Medicine. Kenapa ada online banking system? So now, why does there is article on online banking system? Why does there is article about gynecology? Maybe, tapi jauh beza lah. Gynecology and ultrasound. I do not know what is this. Marker for severity in liver. And the other leisure time physical activity influencing school children willingness, content and validity testings, diabetes, and so. So what it means is that the articles that are being published seems to be out of the scope. So Scopus actually identified that. Scopus have then removed this journal, EJMCM journal, from their indexing. So now what it means to you. So if you published your article in this particular journal, I'm not targeting this journal, I'm using the example, just a scenario example. If you have published in the similar journal such as this, and once you have your article being published over here, you know that this could be a Scopus back then, but when you publish it, then it's no longer Scopus. Now, what it meant to you. So would this eventually fall into the proprietary journal list itself? How about your paper that being published, right? Things like that. I do not even want to mention about the peer review quality and also the download and citations and the references. I pun tak sampai sana lagi. I just wanted to give you some example. Similar example which is here. This is from the Malaysia Journal of Critical Reviews. You can see the editorial board member, who are they, and how it's very, very nicely being put in. This is just that from Malaysia, from Indonesia. Who are they? Which university they are from? How to find them? What is their contact? Nothing, tak ada, right? So these are some of the things that you should be aware about. I'm so sorry, I'm actually over time. I wanted to really get your idea and also your commentary. How does actually open access actually affect you itself? So there's no time into that. Just wanted to give you some further thinking about some of these matters. Perhaps maybe some of you could even do a research, can do a systematic literature review berkaitan dengan ini ke, or you can do some research, or you can do some data finding or a book chapter about open access pun boleh juga ya. So now, how does open access affect you? Open access, is it a interdisciplinary or is it a multidisciplinary, or is it a very specific subject expert method? Most of the subscription journal or the OO journal lah, OO journal yang lama-lama tu normally they are not normally. Most of them, they are very niche. They talk about this particular subject and this particular, topics area. They welcome interdisciplinary most of the time, but not multidisciplinary, right? So how does it, how does it affect you on the download and citations? Do you really have more downloads in open access? Is it really more download in open access, more citation in open access than the subscription journal? How about the rankings and also the quality of that particular review, right? I mean, rankings normally refers to the journal reviewing quality, which is also referring to the reviewer. So who are the reviewer? Who are the invited reviewer? Who are the editorial board members? So these are all about the quality aspect, right? So predatory journal. So predatory are always associated to the APC, sebab kena bayar kan. So publishing is a billion-dollar industry. Everybody would like to have a piece of that. So if you are in the IT industry, you can also come up with your own journal, come up with your own homepage, guna lah wix.com, buat lah journal sendiri, and everything else looks perfect, and you can do your own journal. You can welcome people to upload to you, and you can earn money from there. So that is also called open access. But does it call predatory journals? I'll leave that to you. Now, how do you get funding? Once you have funding, how do you invest? How do you segregate your funding? I have this very interesting conversation with Dean of Graduate Business School, UCSI. It's actually regarding about the funding, right? In my perspective, I was thinking, I was thinking that, if you have a research funding, how do you use that particular funding itself? I was thinking, the research funding probably, right, majority might be used in the data gathering, in the in the data processing, in the data gathering or in the data processing. Probably it help me to reach out to more surveys, more participants. I'll use that, example of it. Or probably I'll buy software, or I buy certain things to support the hypothesis. That's the bargaining, right? So that would be that. So some may think that the fundings, the research grant that they have, they will use the grant not purely, like majority on publication. So they'll use the fundings, to select top journals and pay APC and to publish into the journal. So these are some of the particular approach onto that. So this is just some of the discussions area that I wanted to get your comment to, but because of time issue, I'm so sorry into that. One of the questions from Iswandi, are all journals in English? Yes. If your question is addressing to Amoro, so let me just recap, rephrase your questions. Amoro journal is in English? The answer is yes. Amoro is a UK-based publisher, and because of internationality, we actually adopt the English as the main language, as a main writing language to be accepted. However, the author or the journal editor, they can actually reprint or republish into their local content. That is actually, with permission, you can actually do that, to actually reprint or to republish in the local content. First, you need to ask permission from the publishing company itself, either the publisher or the, mainly the publishers. Then to actually get who are the translator to do the translations into the local language, and what are the costs of it, and things like that. So I hope I answer you into that. My answer is actually yes, all is in English. However, there are also some instances where it was republished in a local language, and that are mainly on a journal specifics. It's not on the publisher perspective specific. Thank you for the questions. Very good questions into that, because I always get the questions. I just had Indonesia case writing competition, and they keep asking me if they can publish in bahasa Indonesia or not. Then I apologize, tak boleh, kita tak terima ya any other writing except in English sahaja. So I think is there any other questions? Feel free to ask questions right here. If not, probably we would need to end. What time right now? About 11:40. Probably we'll end in 1 minute time. If you need to leave, please do so. Before you leave, I just want to say thank you so much for your time in attending this particular topic. Open access is new things. Probably it does not benefit you immediately, but this my intentions today is to give you an idea what is open access, how does the evolution from the subscriptions to open access to open research and to perhaps new form. Probably you'll come across to this called read and publish deal. Read and publish deal that adopt in Japan. How does the Japan countries is adopting open access? How does Singapore looks into that? How does Malaysia is going to follow dan sebagainya? All right. Then and also to throw in my intention also to give you to throw in some thinking, no, bukan thinking, to throw in some questions to you so that you can have some thoughts about it. And about the open access, what are the risks of it? It's good, is open access. Everybody can read it. I do not need to put in the research gate. Sebab dia dah open access dah. I just put the DOI. Semua dah boleh download and read and insights. We like that. I agree. I pun suka tu. However, they are people. They are community. They are organizations that may have misused it. May have abused it, and with that there are risks along the way. And because open access is still very new, there is no general policy that adopt. Most of the time, the policy are adopted by country-based policy that being adopted, right, into that. So these are so-called the risks, right? And also moving forward how it looks like. With that, thank you so much. Oh, right. Please fill up the feedback form at the link. Puan Noliza have pasted the link in the chat. Please click on the link here and fill up your feedback form. Thank you, Dr. Asia, for that, and thank you everyone for joining these sessions. Thank you Zarina, thank you so much for joining these sessions. I hope that give you some a new perspective about the open access. Most important, if you want to find open access a journal dan tak perlu nak bayar, then lah, that is the Emerald can actually Emerald has it lah, and also others as well, yeah. Apa lagi? Dah tak ada lah. I promote Emerald too much dah hari ni. Tak nak cakap Emerald dah. If you have any other interest of topic that you would like to hear or you would like to discuss about in the next sessions or in the next year session dan sebagainya, please you can email to our librarian, Puan Noliza or Puan Noatna here, or you can also email that directly to me. You can find my email address at the last of the PDF. You can also email that to me. Perhaps we can have. I always like to do a discussion format. It's about for me, I'm also learning, sharing what I know. Then I also want to learn from you. So if you have any things you want to learn together, please feel free just to let me know. With that, then we'll be done. Does Emerald have YouTube channel? Ada. Emerald has YouTube channel. I also one of the very small committee that helping to upload. So this is the Emerald YouTube channel. Tak banyak orang subscribe actually. I pun tak tahu kenapa. So Emerald YouTube channel. So these are the video. We have the guide to getting published, but quite some years old ago, but banyak tahun dulu lah. So you can go into the playlist. You can see that these are some of the latest ones about the Fair Society, about the Emerald database contents, about the education, about the webinars. And this is the one that I'm actually maintaining. I'm actually helping to maintain the Southeast Asia and East Asia video. So these are some of the videos that I have.
Okay. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Previously. Yes, some of the videos that I have uploaded previously, right? So all in all, that would be that. Then I hope thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you all. If you need to leave, please do so. Please remember to fill in your feedback form at the link up there. Then I shall probably I hope to see you all, in the next sessions. With that, thank you. Maaf ya, I overtime. Maaf, minta maaf. I overtime. Yes.
Mr. William, thank you, Mr. William.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Tak apa, it's okay. Right, before we leave, before we wrap up, we will ada 3 announcement. Right, number 1, like mentioned before, Noliza ada posted today's slide on the comment section. So I hope you download it. And number 2, we will upload part 1 and part 2 video on our YouTube channel once we receive the video from Mr. William. And number 3, please fill up the feedback form for your e-certificate. Right, so before we wrap up, could we have a photo session?
Kalau ada next time kan, Puan, you cannot stop my time.
It's okay. Tak apa. Because I know 1 hour is not enough.
Tak.
InsyaAllah we will have last session, part 3.
Boleh.
We will share you the detail. Macam Mr. William cakap lah, if you have any topics that you want to for Mr. William to cover, you can contact me or Mr. Zariel or Puan Noliza. We will contact Mr. William on what topic to be discussed. When was the first part? First part was in October 13 October. That was the first part.
Yeah, that was the first part.
This is the second part. So third part will be in December 2021.
December 2021.
So can we have a photo session? Could you?
Can I will do that. Hold on you. Okay. I count to 3, then have a smile. Okay.
We're still waiting for few. Wait.
Waiting for few. Boleh. Silakan. Okay. Some of you probably know me. I memang overtime cakap banyak. Kena stop me if I. Tapi kalau keluar tu boleh ya. Silakan je. I just maaf. I sometimes over excited.
Maybe we can have extra time next month.
Boleh. Can.
I'm still waiting for a few ke tak ada. We have 2 pages here, right? So are you ready? Right, smile. First page, 1, 2. Right, second page. Right, again, 1, 2, 3. Okay, second page. 1, 2. All right, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. William. Thank you, everyone.
No need. Thank you so much for attending. Thank you. Right. Current 2. I stop recording.